The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel. He's got a man, complete. He's at the 30, past the 20. Oh, some strong running.
They got the full 81.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody has that ability?
Pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Second half, no matter what. With his first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
One play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or 2 shy of midfield.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Wide open receiver complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They have certainly looked his way in this third quarter. Another catch, and it's good for a first down. This quarterback now, pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They'll look to throw now on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards.
Here we go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's brought down. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play.
Why is it Giasiuk? It should be Russell French. That's the putting Morgan McKee in the side.
Called. They are handling their business at the line of
It's
scrimmage.
nice if it was actually what I
Dominating
want
right
to happen
now
now
on this
instead of what
drive.
game decides for me.
Let's go. Brad 38. Brad 38.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football.
Yeah,
what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Hurry up. Here we go. Blue line.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Perry. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback with the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Garner. His 2nd catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a 1st down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
All right, here we go. Green.
He'll look to throw. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Now let's go. 3-19.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
What a block.
Here comes the Saints punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And
he's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there with a record 4th Super Bowl touchdown tonight. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Unable to corral him, he fights through. High throw, but he makes the catch. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him think.
By that,
yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. They only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
All right, here we go. Green, 39, green.
Looking to throw. And this one is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And this one is right through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And they'll run it here. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10.
Let's go! Red 38! Red 38!
They'll drop the throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
Let's go! White 90!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
This will be caught at about the 5. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal. Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. Time for a break. We're back to crown a champion after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And Elliott puts this one through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
They'll set up to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6.
It's pick 6 that time.
Touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Elliott good on the extra point. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go. 3:19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. That's just his second catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game, and they've done a great job of doing that.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
But sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
Holding offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
They'll look to throw. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete.
Green 39. Green.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
A terrific return there, 27 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want
Raymond
to do now.
is just the master of those one-handed catches,
But all in all,
isn't
take the snap, kneel down, and shake
smile.
hands. Yes, get out of there.
Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. The Pittsburgh Steelers have won the Super Bowl. And the Lombardi Trophy is going back to the Steel City. For the victors, getting to hoist that Lombardi Trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The journey to get to this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this game alone because there's nothing else going on, that's just got to be absolutely amazing. The task, incredible. But the accomplishment, forever.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gunn. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.
MVP over an offensive play. Hey, Tatum Needles there. Good for him.